A college professor and self-described Antifa leader who has advocated violence as a legitimate way of pushing his agenda, now suspended from teaching after a recent anti-police tweet surfaced online. Mike Isaacson teaches economics at the John Jay College of Criminal Justice right here in New York City. Yes, he teaches at a school for criminal justice. But just last month, he tweeted, quote, "Some of y'all might think it sucks being an anti-fascist teaching at John Jay College, but I think it's a privilege to teach future dead cops." Joining me now, it's Mike Isaacson. He's also the co-founder of the Antifa organization, Smash Racism DC. How's it going?
Good. I mean, I wouldn't consider myself a leader. We don't really have leaders.
You haven't been promoted yet?
Yeah, exactly. We don't really have a leader in Antifa. It's more of a decentralized sort of organizing style that we have.
Oftentimes you see Antifa at Trump rallies.
For sure.
And oftentimes there are physical skirmishes. I mean, the cover of the Weekly Standard had an Antifa person beating the crap out of a Trump supporter.
For sure. And
it seems like in this day and age, it's okay if you disagree with someone to advocate violence
against them. This isn't about disagreement.
them.
I mean, we're talking about a movement that has for decades advocated violence against people of color and poor people in this country for decades.
Are you talking about neo-Nazis?
I'm talking about
we just established that Antifa isn't just going to neo-Nazi rallies.
Right, but at the end...
I mean, that's what's called a... I know you are a professor, and I know that you have at least a background in philosophy.
A little bit.
And I know that means that you have studied fallacious arguments.
Sure.
And what you are presenting is a fallacious argument.
No, I mean, ultimately, anti-fascists seek to protect the communities that they serve. Ultimately, we are organizing actively with the communities that we show up in, so in Charlottesville and Berkeley, etc. And this is evidenced by, for instance, in Berkeley, community members coming out in support of Antifa.
Okay, so, I mean, what it sounds like you're presenting is almost a vigilante organization.
No, not a vigilante organization. It's an organization that is working very closely with these communities. We're not a vanguard. We are a protection unit. I mean, this is no different.
So you're like the mafia.
No, this is no different than the security that you have in this building that allows you to have a civil discussion here and not have crazies coming in to try to attack you.
Okay, well, there are people who think that you are crazy.
Sure.
And you have elicited a lot of
threats.
Hate.
Yes.
Mail and
yes.
threats.
And not only me. Unfortunately, this is extended to my to my coworkers at John Jay, to the staff there.
But what did you expect when you put something out there like that? You know, when you put something out there, and it seems from an outside observer. No. Let me ask the question.
Sure.
It seems from an outside observer that you are just trying to get confirmation and reassurance from a group of people that you want to like you, and those are the people online who share your political views.
No, so
why would you be surprised that if you put something out there on social media that someone who is either intrigued or alarmed by you goes through your tweets and finds something which is now a public record and presents it to the public? Why would that surprise you?
It doesn't surprise me. And it doesn't surprise me that this whole happened. I mean, this is a pattern that has been a coordinated attack, not against just me, but against professors all over the country.
No, but you are an easy person to dislike.
I mean, no, I'm an easy person to target by fascists. That's why this organization called Far Left Watch is going through my tweets, finding tweets from 3 weeks back. And I don't know if you've gone through my Twitter.
Not that far. I mean, I have people who go online and find stuff that I wrote in 2012.
Right.
You know, and they take that as though it's a modern day, and they abstract things.
Right. And
but that happens, and that's the name of the game. So this is what I challenge you to do. Because it's one thing to be a professor at a college and say that it's a privilege to teach future dead cops. As someone who has cops in my family, I'm offended by that, because the people I know who are cops, they have kids.
Are they immortal?
They have mortgages.
Are they immortal?
No, don't give me a nihilistic argument,
immortal?
because that's not what you're saying. You're not saying everybody dies. Privilege means that there is some joy that you take.
I do take joy in teaching my students. I love my students.
And knowing that these people will be assassinated in the future. I mean, that's the ultimate goal. You don't have to be a genius to discern the subtext of your tweets.
I want my students to actually be able to do what they want, which is help people, and I don't think policing is an institution that allows them to do that.
Yeah,
I want to see them become social workers. I want to see them become EMTs.
Then go work for
firefighters.
I mean, it's not necessarily subversive for you to teach economics at a school that specializes in criminology. I know where John Jay is.
Right.
They've got a great pool that no one uses. It's a wonderful college. But if you were so brave, if you were so subversive, if you were so committed to your movement, which I don't think you are. I think there's actually a great deal of cowardice that runs through you. You would become a cop.
I don't see the logic there.
if you really wanted to work within the system,
I don't want
to undo the thing that you say is so unjust,
I absolutely do
then
not
you
want to
would
work,
become a cop.
I do not want to work within the system. I am a anarcho-capitalist, or anarcho-communist. I do not want to work within the system. I want to tear the system down root and branch. The police serve the weapons industry and the prison industry, and they are put in this awful position of having to fire their weapons more often because their training videos are telling them to do so, and having to criminalize the entire population because it's profit for the prison industry and profit for the weapons industry.
Okay, so
I want it, the problem that we have is that government infrastructure at its core is run by private companies for profit, not in the interest of the American people.
I don't think you have the interest of the American people, because I think that you've lived in a bubble for so long.
I disagree.
You don't actually know people.
I teach people who are planning to be cops.
You don't have any
about a bubble.
Rational
I'm not on a TV. I'm not on a TV show on Fox News. I'm talking to people who are thinking about
because you wouldn't be good at
cops.
I mean, that's the unfortunate reality is you wouldn't be able to handle that, nor if you were attacked by someone. I think the first thing you would do is call 911. I don't think you have the ability to physically defend yourself. Okay. I think that if you were threatened, if you were attacked, I read that you have gone into hiding, which
I did not.
Obviously not, because you are here.
Yeah, no, I was.
But I think you are the first person who would call the police.
Absolutely not. I would call my friends. Because
the ones who are cops that you've taught,
the ones
with
that
your
are
tweets,
with my Antifa friends who actually
claiming
are able
to be a rational professor, teaching an entire generation of people who were inspired by cops and firefighters who died on 9/11. Those kind of people.
What?
Exactly.
I don't understand what point you're making here. That am I supposed to tell my students, yes, you should become a police officer so that you can have a gun at all times and possibly kill someone? I don't think that that's a good thing.
No, I think your hope, and you have revealed your intention.
I would love them to become firefighters.
I think your intention is to teach as many cops, have as many of them get on the street as possible, so they can be assassinated, and that would bring you completion and great joy.
I want to see them actually fighting in their own interests, if they do choose to become police officers, advocating for the demilitarization of the police, advocating against the increasing criminalization of the population, because at the end of the day, that puts them at danger.
Yeah, you know what? You can do all of those things, and you can have logical discussions about all those things. I do pretty much every night on the show. We talk about decriminalizing, we talk about demilitarizing, and you can do that without advocating violence. And without being a part of an organization that takes pleasure in harming people whose ideas run counter to yours.
This is not about people whose ideas run counter to ours. These are about people who actively want to politically organize to eliminate large sections of our population.
That's the straw man that you're employing, because you don't just show up at neo-Nazi rallies. That's not the only place that Antifa shows up. And you are not like a vigilante group who's going around keeping little old ladies safe.
Like I said, we're not a vigilante group.
No,
we work very closely with the communities that we end up showing up in. And that's why, for instance, this weekend, where I was at the Juggalo March in public, we showed up to the Juggalo March, and we were completely peaceful, because that was what was requested of us.
And you also would probably get the living crap beat out of you, but also the communities you purport to represent, by and large, a vast majority of them support police.
It's not true.
They're not. No, it is true. If you look at data, Republicans, Democrats, Independents.
Okay, but what about the poor communities who are constantly under the threat of police violence? What about communities in this very city, in New York City, whose entire apartment complexes are designated as gangs and put up and the police engage in these gang raids
again, these are valuable conversations
that just so happen to be on the frontier of gentrification. Like, at the end of the day, we have a police institution that serves the interests of capital at the
Are you going to get your job back at John Jay?
I don't know. I really hope I do.
Are you on paid leave or unpaid leave?
I am on paid leave.
Paid or unpaid?
Paid, just like a cop who killed somebody, and hopefully, like Dan Pantaleo, who choked Eric Garner, I get my job back and get a promotion.
All right. Well, good luck with everything.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming by.